Hello, this is a 2.7K video test at 30 frames per second with the VanTop Moment for You, which is a budget-friendly action camera that we purchased on Amazon for a little bit less than $50. Came with lots of accessories and lots of features, and I just wanted to talk about this camera for a few minutes while we walk around and test out the video quality. So the first thing you'll notice is that quality is not perfect, but I find that 2.7K resolution on this camera is a very good setting, a perfect balance of quality and smooth video. If you look at either the review or some video tests on this channel about this camera, you will notice that with the 4K resolution setting, unfortunately you kind of get what you pay for. The 4K resolution setting at 30 frames per second, in my opinion, the video looks very choppy, does not look smooth at all, looks a little bit laggy, which is really unfortunate because we were hoping that the highest resolution setting is something that we'd want to use constantly, the best quality. But unfortunately that is not the case in my opinion. If I took this on vacation, the 4K resolution setting is something you might want to use if you have the camera still. If you have it still, if it's sitting somewhere and just recording something not moving, while the camera is not moving. But if you have a lot of moving objects, or if you're shaking the camera, you're moving it a lot, unfortunately I think everything will come out a little bit choppy. So I find that the 2.7K setting on this particular camera is optimal. But just keep in mind that if you do decide to purchase a camera for hundreds of dollars, such as those cameras made by the company GoPro, you will find that those cameras, which I've never used, I assume that if you pay hundreds of dollars more for an action camera, it is more likely that at higher resolution settings, such as 4K, the video quality is probably going to look a lot more smooth, as opposed to this camera, which is more for a budget and not necessarily for shooting professional quality, smooth 4K videos. Certainly not at this price. So anyways, we're just going to take a look over here with our camera. This is a 2.7K video test at 30 frames per second. Beautiful Saturday afternoon, April 17th, 2021. Between noon and 1 o'clock right now. Sun is out, a little bit cloudy. Again, this is a 2.7K video test with the VanTop Moment for You. If you buy a cheap action camera, if you're definitely conscious of the budget, I would highly recommend that you just make a video at every single setting. And if the camera has image stabilization, I would recommend making videos with the image stabilization on and the image stabilization off, because then you'll be able to determine at what setting you have the best quality in your opinion. So for example, I went through every single setting. I went through the 4K setting at 30 frames per second. I went at 2.7K, 1080p, and I finally realized, after looking at comparing all of the test footage, that the 2.7K setting seems to be the best for me. It's a good balance of having quality, smooth video, and quality and smooth video, as opposed to the 4K setting, which in my opinion looked a little bit choppy, laggy, not very smooth. So that's how you just kind of figure it out. You have to kind of play around with it, but just keep in mind that if you're anticipating that you're going to have the same kind of quality that you would from a camera that costs at least $200 when you have your $50 camera, more often than not at the higher resolution settings, and sometimes at the lower resolution settings like 1080p, the quality just might not be there. However, there are exceptions. If you shop around on Amazon, if you look at lots of sample footage on YouTube, lots of video reviews, you might find some really good cameras for the same price as this one, the VanTop Moment for You, which can potentially record better video. And I say that because I own another camera called the Campark X25, which actually records fantastic video quality at 1080p, crystal clear video quality, considerably better than the 1080p setting on this camera, and it also costs $50. So you should definitely shop around. So I do like the company Campark. They have some very good cameras like the Campark X25. It does not come with image stabilization, but it does have very good video quality. And of course you can pay more for cameras with more video settings, more resolution settings, and more features like image stabilization. But anyways, so there's one thing I'm going to say about this camera, the VanTop Moment for You, is that if you're going to purchase this camera, I cannot stress this enough. You must absolutely, if you'd like to not spend 20 hours charging your camera, use the separate accessory that comes with the camera, the separate charging station, the dock for charging 2 batteries at the same time. You just put the batteries into the charging station, connect it to your computer via USB cable, which is also included, and then the batteries will charge like 10 times faster than if you have the battery in your camera and you simply connect your camera to your computer. Don't charge the battery by having it in the camera and then connect it to the computer. Take the battery out, put it in the charging station, and then charge both batteries at the same time. You will save so much time, because when I first bought this camera, I was like, why does it take forever to charge the batteries? And the reason is that for some reason it's just much faster when you take the batteries out and put them in the charging station. And which makes sense. It's probably a more powerful charger. So anyways, I hope that any part of this video was informative. If not, I do apologize. This is a 2.7K video test at 30 frames per second. My personal favorite video setting on this action camera, the VanTop Moment for You. So hopefully the video looks reasonably smooth here and reasonably good quality. But of course, when you purchase a $50 camera, there's only so much that you can expect in terms of quality at every single resolution setting. However, I will say that the 2.7K just seems to be the best, and that's what you need to do. The fun thing about these cheap, budget-friendly action cameras is you can really just kind of play around with the settings and see which setting is your favorite in terms of video quality. Or maybe you're going to take it on vacation for all sorts of adventures and you want to use image stabilization, which is, it's kind of cool that some of these cheap, budget-friendly action cameras do have image stabilization as a separate feature that you can turn on. So, last thing I'll say is what I said in the earlier part of this video, is that it's possible to get a camera that records fantastic quality video for $50, but you really have to do your research. So my one recommendation would be the Campark X25, but certainly don't take my word for it. Just go on YouTube, because it's just in the same way that it's possible to get a camera that records good quality video for $50, very good quality if you shop around. It's also possible to get a camera for $100 that records poor quality video. So just because you pay more, it doesn't mean that your camera is definitely going to have better quality at every setting. Just because you pay less, it doesn't mean that the camera is terrible. You must shop around, and there's no alternative to spending hours doing your research. So don't just go by what the manufacturer says. Of course, on the box it's going to say crystal clear footage to capture all of your memories, 20 megapixel photos, 4K, smooth video. They can write whatever they want, don't forget that. But ultimately it's up to you to decide, do you think the quality is good to capture your favorite moments or not? Anyways, this has been a 2.7K video test at 30 frames per second with the VanTop Moment for You action camera on this beautiful Saturday afternoon, April 17th, 2020. We are finally done with this video test. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day. If you decide to purchase this camera, and if you'd like some more information before you decide, feel free to check out the channel. There's an unboxing video, and we're going to also be reviewing this camera based on what kind of features it offers and how good this video quality is. Thanks for watching this video, and have a nice day.